Hello everybody, K-Whip here, and welcome to another Destiny 2 video. In today's video, I'm reviving the This Week in Trials series, which is a series where I talk about the Trials events that are going on of the weekend, and I talk about what map it is, what weapons you should use, what subclasses to use, some strategies to employ, and basically just what to expect and how to play. So for This Week in Trials, the map is Widow's Court, a map that I like quite a bit. It's something that you can do just about anything on. However, the most popular thing to use and probably the best weapon to use is going to be sniper rifles. There's a lot of lanes where you can take advantage of long lines of sight and be able to pick up some early picks. Mostly the middle street lane is where people will spawn snipe, as well as on top of the courtyard steps, as well as kind of the entrance to the church. And those are kind of the two main sniper lanes, and they're located mostly in the middle of the map. So if you aren't using a sniper or you don't want to challenge spawn snipe lane, I would recommend going to the far right or far left of the map, going up along the B flag side or going by the apartments on the other side. And this will allow you to get in some closer engagements that aren't as sniper heavy. So that's what I would do if you wanted to avoid kind of sniping lanes. As for what to pair with your sniper rifle, if you're going to snipe, I would recommend using an auto rifle, because there still isn't too many close range engagements that you're going to get into unless you're going up against a team of mini shotgunners, and if that's the case, then maybe throw on a sidearm, because when people get really aggressive on you, you may want that closer range option. But overall, auto rifles should be the best primary for you on this map to pair along with a sniper, and that's what I would recommend. If you're going to use a sniper, I would recommend a high impact one like Revoker or Bite of the Fox. This will allow you to res snipe. You can also get one-shot headshots on supers, and also the high body damage will help with team shots and finishing opponents. If you aren't sniping, using a shotgun or a fusion rifle can both work on this map. I personally prefer fusions over shotguns for this map because there is a fair amount of distance between people typically, and you can still get in pretty close range where your fusion can do full damage, but also keep your distance so you don't get shotgunned by others. And in my opinion, fusion rifles just work a little bit better than shotguns on this map, but you can definitely still make a shoddy work. As far as the primaries to use with a shotgun or a fusion rifle, I would recommend primarily a scout rifle because you can challenge long lines of sight, especially if you use a high impact scout like Jade Rabbit, or something that flinches a lot like the Mida multi-tool. Even something like Randy's throwing knife could excel. But that's got a little less range, so you might have trouble flinching snipers and get sniped out of your shots. The other type of weapon I would recommend would be a 600 RPM auto rifle. They're basically the best guns in the game right now. If you're not challenging sniping lanes and you're just looking for primary gunfights, they're going to be the best option for you. There's a small window of long to mid range where pulse rifles will be better, but in most engagements you get in either a scout rifle or an auto rifle is going to be preferred. So that's what I have to say about what weapons to use. Next, I'd like to talk about what subclasses to use for each class. On Hunters, I would recommend using Gunslinger or Night Stalker for this map. The reason is because they have good nades for some of the portions of this map, especially in Courtyard. Trip mines and spike nades will work pretty well. They can be used well for zoning off heavy, and they can also be used to get some quick damage onto snipers that are at the courtyard steps. Also, Golden Gun's a pretty good super for this map. It's got long range, so you can pick off opponents that are pretty far away, and it's harder for them to get away from your super, as opposed to something like Arc Staff they can probably just run away from. Also, if you choose to go with like Spectral Blades, that's better at catching up to people than Arc Staff is. And then if you go with one of the tether options, the invisibility can help you as well. Then when it comes to Titans, I think any of the subclasses can work well. Sentinel would be pretty good because it's got suppressor nades to potentially shut down supers, as well as the super itself is pretty good. Then you have Hammers, which is a nice long-range super. But my personal favorite would probably be Strikers, especially the middle tree, because lightning grenades can be pretty good on this map for the same reason as the trip mines and spikes. And having that powerful shutdown super is pretty convenient. As well as Inertia's Override can be clutch and give you some extra damage in gunfights. As for what subclasses I would use on Warlock, I think the best options are probably Nova Warp and Dawnblade because they each have very mobile supers, and that will help you pick up kills on people as they try to get away. And my preferred one would probably be Top Tree Dawnblade, especially because it has a very extended range melee that can really come in handy. Last couple of things to mention, here is where the heavy ammo spawns. It's in the middle of the courtyard. If you get the bottom spawn by the church, I would recommend just kind of running straight up to it and getting command of the courtyard steps and maybe zoning people off with a grenade. Make sure someone watches to the right at apartments so they don't flank you, and you don't really have to worry too much about mid-map. Not many people go that route for heavy. Then if you get the opposite spawn, this little perch up here is a decent spot to watch heavy if you think they're actually going to try to pull it. And that can be kind of a last resort to watch that. But if they do have a Titan, then they can maybe barricade off heavy and get that. And now that I mentioned Titan barricades, they can be pretty damn good for this map because a lot of the reses that people will get down will be from very far away from like spawn snipes. And so those Titan barricades can be huge and allow you to pick up reses when people are initially far away from the revive. And so if you want to do well, Titans are going to be pretty good. Now to cover some other quick little tips. One thing that you can take advantage of as well is that you can shoot through this window. So I got a couple snipes through this window on people earlier when I was playing. I couldn't find the clips, but you can get them through this window. So make sure to take advantage of that if you're here. And this is where the cap point is. It spawns in at the bottom of the watchtower in the streets. And then finally, this head glitch is super good on this railing. If people are in the middle of the streets or go to the watchtower, you definitely have the advantage as you are just a head that's peeking over and everyone else is going to not have as much cover as you. So if you anticipate people being in the middle lane, I would definitely recommend taking advantage of this head glitch. And those are most of the tips that I have for Widow's Court. Let me know if you like this type of video. I haven't done a This Week in Trials for several years now, I believe. So let me know if you're happy that the series is being revived or if it should be unrevived and just let alone because it's not helpful. Whatever you have to say, I'm interested and I would like to know. Because if people don't really like it, I can just make more highlight videos of Trials, so that works for me. And finally, before I go, immediately after this video is going to be posted, I will be live on Twitch doing Trials with viewers. So if you're watching this video recently after it's released, go ahead and hop on over there if you're interested in playing with me. And with that, I thank you for watching the video, and see you later.
He's pushing you, Kyle, with Mindbenders. Nice.